Alright, there's the kit completely laid out with all the parts and pieces. My UPS guy is in love with me as usual because this stuff weighs about 100 pounds and I know he had to struggle to get it from the truck to the house, but anyway. Something I was always taught to do, number one, make sure the thickness of the metal you're welding, determine what it is, and then you've usually got a chart inside your welder, if you use a MIG unit, that will tell you the suggested wire speed and the suggested voltage from the factory. Start with your parameters set to the factory settings. I've got some 12 gauge scrap steel here that I'm going to run a practice bead on, and I've got the machine set to what Lincoln recommends for that size steel. So I've got 12 gauge steel. Right now I've got my wire speed set at 200 and I've got my voltage set at 17. I'm going to run a practice bead just to see how that works, and I can adjust up and down as I need to. That looks pretty decent. And look at the back side. I can see that I have good penetration. So I've got a good solid weld. Looks like that may be a little bit hot on the first part of it when I've stayed in one place too long. That may be a setting I need to adjust a little bit, but I'm going to try it and see how it works. It's a good start, a good place to begin. All right, now that that's all tacked together, I'm going to do the finish welding on my grate. And there's two ways to weld this. You could do your inside welds flat and then do an uphill weld on this. The thing about these kits is, and I was always taught and I always believe, to make it as easy as you can for yourself to complete these welds, do your flat welds and then tilt the grate up and you've got a corner weld that's flat. And you can do that quite easily without any difficulty. There, if you're not comfortable making uphill welds, you can weld your flat stuff when it's laying flat, tilt it up on the side, and make your weld across there. Make it easy for yourself and give yourself a better finished product. Alright, I've got my frame for the fire grate welded together, and as I'm going to show you, I welded on the inside. There's no real structural need to have a weld on the outside, but I hate the way unfinished metal looks. I'm going to run just a quick little straight bead across that. I'm not going to use any back and forth weaving technique or anything. I just want to fill that, and then when I'm done I'll grind it down and it'll have a lot better look on the finished product. Alright, so I've got the walls set on the top of the base. I wanted to go around and make sure that everything is set the way I want it to be. I've got just a little bit of a lip on the outside all the way around. And once I've got that all in place, then I can tack weld everything in. And you can see that far corner over there by the Gonzalez flag isn't completely fitting up. But once I put tacks all the way around, I can finesse that piece into place. I'll probably not put a weld right there or right there on the bottom of that piece, and then just kind of finesse that into place and hold it and then put a tack weld on it. Once I'm satisfied with that, then I'll go ahead and weld the entire thing. I'm going to admit to you that this foot rail had me nervous. If it didn't fit all the way exactly like it needed to, I was pretty concerned about that. Obviously I shouldn't have been. There's just test fitted together. Every joint fits perfectly. I've got that one a little bit misaligned. I knocked it out when I stood up. But all the joints fit just fine. Okay, there's a foot rail tacked together. I'm going to set it up on the table now and finish weld the inside, and then I'll put some welds on the outside just to make it look good. On the outside, I'll probably turn my wire speed down just a little bit and my my voltage down just a little bit. I just want to get a weld on the outside of there. It's not necessarily structural, but it does make it look a whole lot better. And I only wind up grinding it down anyway just to give those corners a finished edge. Alright, there's the rail finished welded, and the supports put on the main floor of the firebox. All in all, went together very well. Very, very pleased with it. You'll notice the ends of these supports haven't been welded yet. I'll go ahead and weld all the way across those, but that's the only thing I've got left to do for the foot rail supports, and then I'll just have to put the legs on it and put the ground plate on those so that it'll sit on the ground without sinking in. We're getting just about wrapped up with this little deal. Alright, I believe we're all wrapped up. There's the completed kit. I've still got a couple of welds to grind, just a couple of little minor details. The grate, the fire grill part, isn't sitting on top of the grill, but it's completed as well. Overall, this kit has just been awesome.